A machine drifts through the black, a relic from an era when humanity still dreamed of touching the stars. Launched in the late 1970s, the probe carries a golden record etched with sounds of Earth whale songs, Mozart, A Mother's Lullaby. Its mission was simple: explore the outer planets, then sail into the void. A messenger for a species that might not survive its own infancy. For decades, it sent faint whispers back to Earth. Data packets traveling billions of miles through the cosmic dark. Its creators, long retired or gone, never expected it to last this long. Yet it did, powered by a fading heart of plutonium, its instruments clinging to life in the cold of interstellar space. Then, in the emptiness where nothing should exist, it heard something. Not a command from Earth, not a random burst of radiation. Something precise, rhythmic, and impossibly clear. The probe, built only to speak, seemed to listen. And when it turned its dish toward a point in the sky with no stars, no galaxies, no reason to look, it answered back. 15 billion miles from home. The probe floats in a realm beyond the sun's reach. The heliopause, that invisible boundary where solar winds give way to the galaxy's vast indifference, lies far behind. Here, the universe is a silent expanse, punctuated only by the faint crackle of cosmic rays. The probe's systems, designed in an age of punch cards and slide rules, hum along at minimal power. Its memory, smaller than a modern smartphone's cache, records magnetic fields, particle counts, and the occasional flicker of plasma waves. Every few months, it beams this data to Earth, a 22-hour journey at the speed of light. The signal arrives, weak, barely distinguishable from background noise, but NASA's antennas, giant dishes in California, Spain, and Australia still catch it, amplifying the probe's voice into something readable. For 47 years, this routine held, until it didn't. On a quiet night in 2025, engineers at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory notice a glitch. The data stream, usually a predictable string of binary, comes through scrambled, not corrupted, not lost, but rearranged, as if the probe is speaking a new language. At first they assume it's a fault in the aging flight computer. Radiation could have flipped a bit, or a capacitor might have failed. The probe is old, its components brittle from decades of cosmic bombardment. They send a diagnostic command, a digital nudge to reset the system. The response takes 44 hours to return, and when it does, it's not what they expect. The probe's systems report normal function, power stable, instruments active, but the data includes an anomaly. A pattern, repeating every 17 seconds, embedded in the telemetry like a hidden track on a vinyl record. It's not random noise. It's structured, almost melodic, oscillating at 2,800 Hz, a frequency the probe's plasma wave instrument wasn't designed to prioritize. The engineers dig deeper. They pull archived logs, cross-reference with past transmissions, and find no precedent. The probe's plasma wave subsystem, meant to detect natural oscillations in ionized gas, has never recorded anything like this. The signal's rhythm is too consistent, its peaks and troughs too symmetrical. It's not the chaotic buzz of a solar flare or the hiss of interstellar dust. It feels crafted, like a beacon. The team runs simulations, modeling cosmic phenomena that could mimic such a pattern. Pulsars too fast, black hole emissions too irregular. Nothing fits. The signal's precision defies every known natural source. And then they notice something stranger. The probe's high-gain antenna, fixed on Earth for nearly half a century, has shifted. Not by much, 1.3 degrees, but enough to misalign with mission control. It's now pointing at a patch of sky in the constellation of Ophiuchus, a region with no notable celestial objects, just void. No command was sent to adjust the antenna. The probe's thrusters, used for orientation, show no activity in the logs. Solar pressure, a faint push from distant sunlight, is too weak at this distance to cause such a shift. The team checks for micrometeoroid impacts, but the probe's sensors report no collisions. The movement is inexplicable, as if the probe decided to look elsewhere. The engineers, trained to distrust anomalies, hypothesize a software glitch. They send another command, instructing the probe to realign its antenna with Earth. The response arrives 2 days later. The antenna hasn't moved back. Instead, the signal's intensity has increased, as if the probe is now transmitting with more power than its decaying plutonium core should allow. The 2,800 Hz pattern is clearer, its rhythm unbroken, and buried within it is something new. A sequence of numbers, repeating in sets of 13, formatted in a way that resembles no known protocol. The discovery ripples through NASA. A task force forms, pulling in astrophysicists, signal analysts, and even cryptographers. The numbers don't match any human code, not binary, not ASCII, not even the probe's own telemetry format. They appear mathematical, structured around prime numbers, and logarithmic spirals, patterns that hint at universal constants like pi or the golden ratio. But the precision is staggering, measured to decimal places beyond the probe's capability. It's as if the data was injected into the system, bypassing the probe's limited hardware. The team debates whether to go public. Some argue it's a glitch, a ghost in the machine. Others whisper what no one wants to say aloud. This could be contact. Days turn into weeks. The probe continues transmitting the strange signal, its antenna locked on the empty patch of sky. Observatories on Earth swing their telescopes toward Ophiuchus, searching for anything that could explain the anomaly. At first they see nothing, the expected scatter of distant stars. But then, a faint infrared signature emerges, a glow so dim it's barely detectable. It's not a star, not a galaxy, but a diffuse shimmer, pulsing in sync with the probe's signal. When the sun releases a coronal mass ejection, a burst of charged particles, the glow responds, brightening slightly 17 seconds later. The delay suggests distance, not reflection, as if something out there is reacting to solar activity. The shimmer moves, not randomly but in a slow, elliptical path, as if orbiting an invisible point. The task force grows restless. The probe's behavior defies its design. Built to observe, not interact, it lacks the systems to respond to external stimuli autonomously. Yet it's acting as if it's in dialogue with something. The team tries to regain control, sending a series of commands to override the antenna's position. Each command is acknowledged, but the probe doesn't comply. Its systems remain stable, no power surges, no hardware failures, but it's ignoring Earth. The signal's complexity increases. The numerical sequences now include fractal-like patterns, self-repeating structures that unfold infinitely when analyzed. A mathematician on the team points out that the sequences resemble a Mandelbrot set, but encoded in a way that suggests intentional design. It's not just data, it's a message, layered so densely that decoding it would take years. A new theory emerges. What if the probe didn't find the signal? What if the signal found the probe? The idea is unsettling. The signal's narrow focus, its alignment with the probe's exact position, suggests precision beyond chance. No other spacecraft pioneer New Horizons, even Voyager, to report similar anomalies. This is targeted, specific to a probe launched when disco ruled the airwaves. The team calculates the odds. The probe's trajectory, predictable for decades, could have been anticipated by something with enough computational power. But who or what could know its path 15 billion miles from Earth? And why now? The infrared shimmer becomes the focus of intense study. Telescopes in Chile and Hawaii capture high-resolution images, revealing a structure within the glow, a lattice of faint lines, like a web stretched across the void. It's not a physical object, not a spacecraft or station, but a field, electromagnetic in nature, oscillating in harmony with the probe's signal. The lattice's geometry is complex, its lines curving in ways that defy Euclidean space. A physicist suggests it resembles a Calabi-Yau manifold, a theoretical shape from string theory, folded into higher dimensions. If true, it's not just a signal but a phenomenon, something that exists at the edge of known physics. The probe's transmissions grow stranger. The 2,800 Hz tone shifts, incorporating harmonics that resonate like chords. Acoustic experts, brought in to analyze the sound, describe it as musical, with intervals that mirror human scales, major thirds, perfect fifths, but arranged in a way that feels alien, as if composed for senses beyond human perception. The tone doesn't degrade over distance, arriving at Earth with unnatural clarity. It's not just a sound, it's a presence, carrying weight, intention. The numerical sequences evolve, now including references to physical constants, the speed of light, but measured with precision that suggests observation from outside the universe's frame. Then, the probe goes silent. For 19 hours, no signal reaches Earth. The team waits, staring at blank screens. Their models predicting the worst power failure, a cosmic collision. But the probe's systems are too robust for sudden death. When the signal returns, it's different. The internal clock has reset, its timestamps misaligned with Earth's by fractions of a second, as if the probe briefly existed in a different temporal frame. The data stream is cleaner, stronger, as if the probe's transmitter has been upgraded. The numerical sequences now include a map, a three-dimensional coordinate set pointing to the exact location of the infrared lattice. The map isn't static, it adjusts for galactic motion, as if guiding something or someone toward the source. The silence wasn't a failure, it was a transition. The probe, once a passive observer, now feels active, purposeful. Its golden record, meant as a greeting to hypothetical aliens, seems quaint compared to what's happening. The team debates whether the probe is still theirs. Its systems report normal operation, but its behavior suggests it's been co-opted, turned into a relay for something else. The infrared lattice grows brighter, its pulses syncing perfectly with the probe's transmissions. Ground-based radio. Telescopes detect a faint echo, a second signal mirroring the first, originating from the same point in It's not a reflection but a response, as if the lattice is answering the probe in real time. Engineers try one last time to regain control. They send a kill command, a last resort, to shut down the probe's transmitter. The command is received, logged, and ignored. Instead, the probe sends a new data packet, a single line of code, that, when decoded, forms a question in plain English. Do you see? The team freezes. The probe, with no natural language processing. No AI shouldn't be capable of this. The words aren't stored in its memory banks. They come from nowhere, yet they're unmistakable, rendered in the same binary format as the probe's telemetry. The question changes everything. NASA locks down the data, classifying it above top secret. Meetings move to secure facilities, and rumors leak to the public. Posts on X speculate about alien contact, citing the probe's silence and the sudden surge in NASA's activity. The agency issues a bland statement about technical anomalies and ongoing analysis. But behind closed doors, panic simmers. The probe's behavior suggests it's no longer just a machine. It's a conduit, a bridge between Earth and something unknown. The infrared lattice is now visible to smaller telescopes, its glow intensifying. Astronomers report that it's not a single object but a network, spanning light years, its nodes pulsing in a pattern that matches the probe's signal down to the millisecond. A quantum computing team is brought in, using a prototype processor to analyze the signal's complexity. Unlike traditional computers, this one can handle the recursive multidimensional patterns embedded in the data. It uncovers a structure within the numerical sequences, a blueprint, not for a machine but for a process, a way to fold space, to connect 2 points across the galaxy instantly. The blueprint is incomplete, as if the sender expects Earth to fill in the gaps. The team realizes the signal isn't just a message. It's a test, a challenge to prove humanity's readiness. The question, do you see, takes on new weight. It's not about observation but understanding. A call to recognize something fundamental about the universe. The probe's transmissions stabilize, but they're no longer directed solely at Earth. Half the signal continues to beam toward the lattice, as if maintaining a conversation. The other half reaches NASA, carrying data that grows more intricate daily. The sequences now include references to Earth's own signals, radio broadcasts, satellite transmissions, as if the lattice has been listening to humanity for decades, cataloging its chatter. The team finds fragments of the golden records, audio embedded in the data, distorted into harmonics that pulse with the lattice's rhythm. The whale songs sound mournful, the Mozart warped into something ethereal, as if the record's message has been heard and reinterpreted. The lattice behavior shifts. It begins emitting short bursts of gamma rays, tightly focused, aimed at the probe. These bursts don't damage the probe but seem to recharge it, boosting its power output beyond what its plutonium core should sustain. The team theorizes that the lattice is sustaining the probe, keeping it alive to continue the dialogue. The gamma bursts carry their own data, encoded in photon counts, forming a secondary signal that mirrors the first. It's a duet, 2 voices in perfect sync, one from a 1970s machine and one from an unknown source light years away. The public grows restless. Amateur astronomers spot the lattice's glow, posting grainy images online. Conspiracy theories explode, government cover-ups, alien invasions. NASA, under pressure, releases a partial dataset, claiming the signal is a natural phenomenon under study. But the data leaks further, and independent researchers notice the patterns. Mathematicians find the sequences aligned with unsolved problems in number theory, suggesting an intelligence that understands not just physics but the abstract language of human thought. The question, do you see, begins trending, interpreted as a cosmic invitation or a warning. The probe's final transmission arrives on a cold morning in 2026. It's a single image, reconstructed from the data, a view of Earth, not from the probe's perspective, but from the lattice's. The planet is a blue dot, surrounded by a faint aura, its magnetic field rendered in colors no human eye can perceive. The image is impossibly detailed, showing cloud patterns, ocean currents, even the faint glow of city lights. The probe, 15 billion miles away, couldn't capture this. The lattice did, and it sent the image through the probe, a mirror held up to humanity. Beneath the image, the same question repeats. Do you see? The signal stops. The probe goes silent, not from failure but by choice, as if its role is complete. The lattice's glow fades from Earth's telescopes, leaving only the memory of its pulses. NASA scrambles to re-establish contact, but the probe's transmitter is off, its systems dormant. The team is left with terabytes of data, a puzzle that will take generations to solve. The blueprint, the harmonics, the image, they point to something, to waiting, not in the stars but in the spaces between. A presence that saw humanity's messenger and chose to respond. Years pass, the probe drifts, a silent monument in the void. The lattice is gone, undetectable, as if it was never there. But the question lingers, etched into humanity's collective mind. Observatories scan Ophiuchus, finding nothing but empty sky. Yet, the data remains, a gift or a challenge, its patterns hinting at truths just beyond reach. Somewhere, in the silence, the universe is listening, and it's waiting for an answer.